Today, we're headed to the rural town of Rochester with a population of just under 6,000.
Woohoo! Oh, it's so pretty out here. It is. It really is. Oh my gosh.
Rochester was founded in 1686.
The incorporation.
Was the incorporation of the town. And it was late for the area. In other words, Plymouth had already been Marshfield, Weymouth, and all of those. And one thing I read said that it wasn't as great farming soil, so people didn't rush to settle there. But it extended from what's Middleborough today all the way to the ocean. And then it went into Wareham, and it went into, did it border what was called Dartmouth, but that was Fairhaven.
Freetown, whatever it was at the time.
It was called Old Dartmouth. And there were proprietors. They were people who went to the general court to ask if they could see about buying this land. It had been grazing land for Plymouth. They had a woman proprietor, which was unusual, and her name is Elizabeth Ellis, yes. And she was the daughter of Peregrine White, who was the first baby born on the Mayflower.
You got it.
There's a car coming, so I can...
Jocelyn Maniglia owns Equestrian Element Riding School at Eastover Farms.
Farm, we're a riding school, so we teach children and adults how to ride.
Fun.
We start them as young as 3 for pony garden classes with the little ones, where they get pony garden is awesome. The teens, we do programs with the Girl Scouts, the Home for Little Wanderers, so we work with middle and high school students, all the way up to Mass Maritime Riding a club comes here to ride.
Do that?
Yep, and they're pretty awesome.
Wow.
It's a nice variety, so we're lucky.
So what do you do with people that are afraid of horses?
I go slow.
Okay.
We go really slow. I would never make anybody ride that doesn't want to.
Oh, okay.
But if that's an option for you today, I can make it happen very easily.
No.
Annie is big,
okay.
but she's very sweet. Come on, you can get on a horse. That's what I do. I teach riding, not falling, so you don't have to worry.
Okay.
I don't think you've seen the property and the stone walls. The Hiller Estates, as some know it, Eastover Farm, the yellow buildings in Rochester has been in the same family for over 100 years. Mr. Hiller, maybe we'll see him come and go. He's still in charge. His son lives down there. His niece lives across the street. At one time, all 700 acres was part of one farm, which was not just a livery to begin with. Then it was a dairy. So that building behind you over there, that was the dairy up until the 1980s. They also were huge into cranberries, had over, the cranberry bogs across the street off of Mary's Pond, up until about 10 or 15 years ago. Yeah, isn't she cute?
Hey, hello there.
She's like, yep, I teach pony garden. I have more sass than any of those big horses.
You teach pony garden?
Oh, yes. All the 4-year-olds are pretty sure that this is their pony. It's so cute. All right, come on over. Live on the edge. Let's go.
Okay. If I fall and crack my head open, it's okay. I'm going to be...
Trust me. So many people have ridden this horse.
Debbie, you're going to ride a horse.
I'm going to...
Okay, sit down.
Well, I'm going to get on a horse.
I'll walk you. I'm not going to just be like, bye, see you later. Come on up. You've got to give it a try.
I love it.
That foot. Stretch up tall. 1, 2, 3. Oh, she's done this before. She got on like a pro.
I did
You
it
did, Debbie.
when I was...
Here you go.
You're really up there, Deb.
I'm
back
not
on your butt.
15 anymore.
Big deep breaths and relax. As long as your butt's in the saddle, you're still on the horse.
Butt is
Always
in the
sit
saddle.
back.
Okay.
Sit back and relax. Your hands don't keep you on the horse. Your balance.
Annie's like, I'm bored.
She's fine. Let's test out the new
Annie.
shoes.
Yoo-hoo. Hi, Dad.
How you doing, Deb?
Oh, she looks awesome.
You're going to be getting cheered on by the donkeys.
Gotta do it, right?
There you go.
Science, the breakover point, it's all physics kind of, yep, Sally Swift was the best. Like it up there? It's not so bad, is it?
It's not so bad.
Not so bad.
Annie, it's cool.
Yeah. See that? Did you want to turn too? I'll totally give you a turn too. Be this way, swinging your other leg up and over, and I will catch you. I will make sure you do not hit the ground. Just lean towards me. This is why everybody laughs.
That sounds really hard.
He's ready. Good another step. So here, I want to turn you around this way.
Okay.
So yes, you kind of lean right down towards me.
Okay.
Yep, and swing that other leg right up and over the back. There you go. And I always make sure
You
your
made
head
it.
stays up. You're fine. She's a big.
I'm doing it.
Huh?
I haven't been on a horse for a long time.
It's like riding a bike. She's actually, she doesn't feel as big when you're on her as she looks like on the ground. She's actually very comfortable to ride. 1, 2, 3, stretch straight up and tall and swing that back leg right over. I got you. Yay, Beth! Doo-doo! Ready?
I'm ready.
Yay! Yoo-hoo! Oh my God! Get you lasso the works. Look, see, how safe you are. I didn't even make you sign a release. I know how safe. I know how safe you are. I'll have you sign one if you want to.
There she goes.
And doing other things. Yeah. Look at her go! She's natural. We're gonna send a copy of this to your niece.
Hi everybody, this is Meredith Russo and we are at the Artisan Bake Shop in Rochester. So Meredith, everything looks yummy.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing this and how old is your shop?
Yeah, sure. So we've been open for 15 years.
Okay.
And we're by appointment for cakes and cupcakes and desserts. We do a lot of holiday specials, and but mostly sweets is what we offer.
Okay. Well, it smells really good in
Thank
here.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So your specialty is wedding cakes?
Yep. So our specialty is wedding cakes and specialty cakes and cupcakes. We work with clients with lots of dietary restrictions. So if you're gluten-free or vegan, we can
Okay.
accommodate that. Weddings, we do dessert bars, cupcakes, and traditional cakes as well. And we work with a lot of local farms too. So we use local eggs from right down the street from the Hardings, apples and cherries when they're in season from local farms. So we're really lucky to be here in Rochester and be surrounded by
Yeah.
so much agriculture that we're so lucky to have that.
Absolutely. And you have employees?
I do, yes. So Tabitha's worked for me for 10 years, and so has Jody. And they do a lot of the artwork. Tab does the cakes with me and meets with a lot of customers too. Jody does the artwork upstairs, and she was actually my teacher. And so
Nice.
she was retired. We joked for 3 days, and then I hired her after that. So
Nice.
she's been with me for a long time.
Awesome, awesome. That's great. And I noticed the certificate that you have that you went to the Culinary Institute of America.
Yes, yep. So I'm a graduate of the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York. And I also have a bachelor's degree in food service management from Johnson & Wales in Providence.
Nice. Good for you. Good for you. Well, this is fabulous.
Thank you.
And, you know, making candy myself, smelling the sugar
Yeah.
is just crazy. So
Yeah.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah, we're grounded in butter and sugar and here in Rochester, and that's what we do.
And that's a good thing.
Yep,
That's a
absolutely.
good thing.
It is. We do some deliveries, local deliveries. You can actually find our tea cakes, our babkas, and our cookies at 2 local shops. We sell them at Sid Wainer and Son in New Bedford, and then also at Frank's Butcher Shop in Wareham. But other than that, we're just here for pickup in Rochester, and then we sell to those 2 places where you can buy our items.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how many cakes a week do you make, do you think?
I would say probably between 40 and 60 per week is probably where we are most weeks.
I love women entrepreneurs, so this is great.
And we are all women except for one dishwasher, so
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
it's great to have all ladies working and
Yeah.
have really great folks. So.
Great. Great.
Thanks for
Very
coming.
good. Oh my gosh, thank you for having us. I know you said you have 3 weddings today.
We do. We have 3
So-
weddings today, 4 tomorrow, so we're busy this weekend.
You're busy.
Yeah.
Okay. We will get out of your hair so you can get back to your cakes.
You got it.
But it's beautiful. It's wonderful meeting you.
Thank
you
you.
for taking the time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
After visiting the Artisan Bakery, we stopped by for ice cream at Captain Bonnie's Creamery.
Having fun, Debbie?
Never. I never have fun.
Ice cream. I'm sorry. I think we have to have ice cream before lunch again.
Oh. Really? Dang it.
It's such a sacrifice to do what we do.
You know, it really is.
Hi.
How are you? Good, how are you? Good.
Oh.
Blueberry cheesecake.
Hi.
How are you today?
How is it, Debbie?
Oh my gosh, this is so good. I've got an apple cider float with pumpkin cheesecake ice cream. I am in heaven right now. It is so good. So good.
Wow. Yum.
Yum.
And I have pumpkin cheesecake ice cream.
Yum.
Oh, it looks so good.
We're with Lily Ferrara, owner of Cape Cod Cannolis,
Yoo-hoo.
and we've been sampling the mix. It is just awesome. So tell us how long you've had your truck.
We bought it June 1st, 2011.
So 8 years on the road, and you do a lot of shows. What do you normally go
Oh,
to?
God. We've done weddings, we've done bar mitzvahs, we've done corporate offices, we've done graduations. We've done them all. We've done them all.
Roger, we're getting married again, so we can have her at our wedding.
There you go.
Oh, Don, us too.
He probably wouldn't say no either. And before that, you did what? You had a
I was in the bakery for 10 years, 10 years even. I bought this in June 1st of 11, and I checked my paperwork out, and I saw that my cannolis were doing really good. I gave myself a deadline. I said October 1st I'm turning in the key, and October 1st I turned in the key to the bakery, and
that
I
was
used
it.
to design, sculpture, and airbrush cakes because I am an artist.
So when did you make your first cannoli? Do you remember?
08 or 09.
Oh wow.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first cannoli. And this gentleman, this Italian gentleman from Boston, would come by. He owned an ice house up there, and every time he'd bring his wife in, he would tell me, "Lily, make cannolis," and I go, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, Lily, make cannolis." And it was like a god. I got goosebumps just talking about it. And so I said, well, I don't know how to make cannolis. And he literally brought me in a recipe. And I read it, and it's like, oh my God, it's like, this is too complicated. And so I bought the cheese, and I had it in the cooler, and one day it wasn't busy. I said, I'm going in the back, and I ain't coming out till I have a cannoli. Now I'm up to 196 flavors.
That is awesome. What sets your cannolis apart from what we might find other places?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of love in these cannolis, trust me. And when I make them with a high-end regatta.
Awesome. So how can people find you? Where to catch up with you?
If you go on foodtrucksin.com, if I can get there, I try and post. I try and post where I'm going next.
Well, something tells me that this is one baby boomer who is not ready for a rocking chair.
No. When I die, I'll do all my resting then.
That's right.
Till
That's
then,
how,
I'm not going to
that's
stop.
how we baby boomers feel, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You got that right.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Lily. It's been a pleasure
It's
meeting
been a
you.
pleasure. Now we can
All right,
head
come on,
inside
hey.
and I'll make you some cannolis to eat.
No, I
We're
want
going
a
home.
hug too.
Yeah.
She wants
Running, okay.
Okay,
Let's see.
ginger snap cannoli.
Well, that says
That's
it all,
what I
doesn't
said.
it?
Key lime.
And as soon as they founded Rochester, they were very interested in two things: churches, having a church, and having a school. And those are the church first, because that was written into the agreement. They had to have a church within so many years. And then by 1704 or 5, they said, we need a school. And so they've always been interested in education and educating their children. And at one point in the mid-1800s, some of the influential men created an academy, which is the middle building in the center between the church and the town hall. And that was for higher learning, Greek and Latin and things like that. And it showed, in a book it says, it showed Rochester to be a town of citizens who cared about reading up-to-date materials and thinking about issues and being interested in the life of the mind. And so it set Rochester apart. And then it's a farming community thought of by everybody, but actually in the 1800s and 1900s, there were lots of judges and lawyers and governors and people like that that came out of Rochester. So,
Okay.
you know, but it's nice because it's maintained because of cranberrying and farming and dairy over the years. And there were a lot of sawmills, and that's kind of kept the rural character. The sawmills were big. There were quite 57 mills at one time in Rochester. One of the last ones to operate was the Hartley sawmill, which was a very successful mill.
We visited Sipican River Farm to talk to owners Bronnie and Cheryl Rosenas about their beautiful alpacas, and we wondered, how does the alpaca fiber become yarn?
Sean, they have 3 different collections we take, 1s, 2s, and 3s. Kind of like Baba Black Sheep, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's where it came from.
Okay.
One is the prime fiber, which is the blanket. That's like the back
Yeah.
and the sides. And that's what this is. This is what I lay it out on. It's called the skirting table. And here I would take out, if there are any shorts, that would be like when he's shorn. We have a really amazing sheriff who does our animals for us. So there aren't too many shorts in this, but a short would be if they went and did one cast and they didn't get it close enough and they had to go back. It would leave like a little one, and it actually ruins the fiber because you want a longer staple.
Yeah.
Like for spinning.
Sure.
And so right here, what I would do is I would pick out any
Vegetable
little
matter.
nubbies, any vegetable matter.
Right.
And this is the inside,
that's
by the way.
we saw a little bit.
Really?
This is the outside.
This
of-
is a short.
That's the outside.
It's like that would be a short. It's a little nubby when sometimes
That's just the way
in
it
the
came
shears it drags.
off the animal.
Wow.
And then this is the side that would be next to the skin. And this is the outside of the fiber. So any
look at
debris,
that.
like the outside usually is messy.
And why
separate.
on this?
As I'm doing it, a lot of the debris, like the dirt,
Oh,
dust
okay.
can fall through. And when I'm
Okay.
doing this, like all of the fleece, I usually wear a mask only because after a while, I mean, it's dusty.
It does. Sure.
Yeah. But anyways, and then after what I do here is I will decide what we want to keep and process ourselves, what I want to use for spinning, and of course I want to keep the most desirable. I have special alpacas, you know, we're breeding specifically for good quality fiber. So I would want to keep that, and some of it I would spin myself. Unfortunately, I just can't do it all. It's crazy, it takes forever. So we do send out to a couple mills and have it spun into yarn. Okay. And we get it back and we know what alpaca it came from. So then we sell it as a certain yarn from a certain alpaca. And then we do send some of us to a co-op, which is right in Fall River, at New England Fiber Pool. And we get back, we give them our fiber and they give us back already knit products like socks and hats and knickers and stuff like that. And then after I'm finished here, what I will do is I will put it in and wash it. The washing process is difficult because when you wash it, you don't want it to melt. You have to be careful with the temperature. You don't want to agitate it a lot. So what I'll do is I'll put it in that big tub over there and carefully put it in. And probably it will go through a wash 2 to 3 times depending on how dirty the fiber is.
Yeah.
And then it will be laid out on a table like this again to air dry. This has been washed. This is from Fiona. Fiona the Mona.
Oh.
And it's, you can feel it. You can feel it's a little bit cleaner than over there.
Gosh, yeah.
And the thing about alpaca fiber is, unlike wool, wool has a lot of lanolin in it. So to wash it, it tends to be a little bit more harsh of a wash that they have to use.
Right.
Where alpaca fiber, we don't have to use harsh detergents because it doesn't have that lanolin. And a lot of people who are allergic to lanolin can't wear wool.
Right.
And then they can wear
alpaca.
because it doesn't contain all that lanolin. So and then, so this has been washed, and what this is a picker. What this does, it will kind of break up the fibers a little bit more, buff them up, and it will help knock out a little bit more of the debris. And as we're doing this, you can see some of the debris coming out and stuff. And then what I do is I'll bring this over here. But I go over here, and if there are any shorts or any more debris, I just kind of pull them out and throw them down. And then he's gonna, this should be all right. Oh, I see one right there.
Yeah.
And see, he doesn't, he just kind of like throws it all in. Because I tell him, if you see a short or a piece of straw or something, pull it out. He's like, yeah. Because if you don't, once you start spinning, if you hit one of those shorts, it's like a little bump.
So this is getting fed very slowly in, and this is like a dog brush right here. That's all it is, a dog brush. In fact, a lot of people will take 2 of these and they'll card like this. They'll just hand card.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's just not happening.
No.
That would take forever. I mean, that's what they used to do, you know?
I'm just
But I
driving
think-
it down in right here. I want to get down. I want to have a nice full roll before I take it off.
Sure.
I'll speed this up.
So, and then we just keep, I'll just throw this over there. I mean, it's a long process, so it takes a long time.
I'm going to actually, I'll see how much we have on this drum. So right here, that's not really a full drum yet, but it's going to be, I think, good enough for a demonstration. So there's 2 ways to come off of here. I could take this tool and just, you break it right here and you take it off as a bat.
Okay.
So it's going to be that long by that width.
Wow.
And you could make felted soap. You could actually spin with it. Or you do this, right like that.
Look at that.
And this is going to take some talent. Yeah, let's see. I'm just getting it through here. And I can just, I take this off. Like this. Now, what a carder does, look at the fibers. The fibers are all in line.
Yeah.
So that's ready to spin right there.
Wow.
So you just keep going and you end up with, 30 feet of that.
This is some over here that we've already done.
Yeah, that one.
But actually, this is one drum full of
Really?
roving. That's one drum full. And like Brownie said, we also can take that off as a bat. So it would be, well, however wide that is, what, 7 inches, 8 inches,
Yeah,
6 inches, whatever, by what, 12?
just like that.
And that would take, we make dryer balls also. So one bat goes to one dryer ball, just to give you an idea.
Make a dryer ball.
And we'll show you the dryer
Yeah,
balls.
okay.
But approximately one bat per dryer ball. So it just gives you an idea how much fiber and work is going into those dryer balls, even before we start making the dryer balls, just to card it, get the fleece prepared and stuff.
Organic soap that we buy from Colorado comes in different fragrances, and
Okay.
We'll put alpaca fleece around it, and it makes it almost like a loofah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And dryer balls.
Now, what does this do, if I can ask it? That's a stupid question.
So everybody uses dryer sheets,
Right.
and they found that the chemicals in dryer sheets are carcinogenic.
Yeah, I won't use them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people are going for the dryer balls. They used to make dryer balls out of hard rubber, and then people would say, yeah, but I don't like the smell of the rubber on my clothes.
Right.
These don't smell. That'll last for you put 4 of those in your dryer, it'll last 2 years. They'll get a little smaller as they age, but they'll last 2 years, and they reduce the static and reduce the dryer time, and I did a test because I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
So for a load that took 1 hour to dry with dryer balls, it's 45 minutes. You just want to say hi to them? Yeah, I don't.
Well, hi.
Can you just grab some of this?
Hi.
They can't.
Wow.
I'll do some more.
Aren't you pretty?
Hungry.
Aren't you?
Emma.
Emma.
Look at
Emma
you.
away. This one here with the gray on her face, the black one, this is Emma.
She's
And
a guard
I don't know if
alpaca.
You've heard of people.
She's a guard.
She protects the herd.
Hi. Hello. Hello.
Hi. I need more. I have Emma over here. I'm trying to distract. Emma.
Wow.
There you go.
So these guys were sheared Memorial Day.
Okay.
Fiona. Hey, Fiona.
So why I'm saying that is...
See, that's Fiona the Mona. Yeah, Emily.
I can't tell any of them apart.
Hi there. Oh, the little one. Debbie, did you see the little one?
Yes,
Oh, my
Umbelina.
Thumbelina.
Hi, Thumbelina.
No, Umberlina.
Thumbelina.
Umberlina. Why? It could have been Thumbelina if we were on T, but we were on U when she was born.
We go through the alphabet. That's how we remember.
Okay, gotcha.
So we were on you.
Thumbelina.
And Umbelina's mother is Emily, which is right there. When looking at you right there.
Hi, Emily. I'm not touching her.
She's awesome.
Promise.
She's such an awesome mom.
Hi. Hi, Mama.
Look at her sniffing at the. I love it.
That is the Witch's Rock.
Passed this by before and you said, I bet you that's it?
Oh, cool.
Am I filming? Yeah.
It will be 11 years in November. 11 years. And what's your name? Jessica.
Jessica. Okay. Perfect. What's the specialty usually?
Everything. Anything on the black. Yeah, anything on the blackboard. Anything on the blackboard. Everything's made fresh and made here. Nothing's frozen. So it try to use all local produce. Whatever we can. Local.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not hungry now. We should have had lunch and then ice cream.
I know.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Pie. It's a French meat
It's
pie.
gorgeous. What kind is it?
It's a French meat pie.
Really?
Yeah.
What's in it?
Ground pork and different spices and potatoes, and it's kind of a family recipe. And it's made with local Honeycrisp apples right up
I
the street.
love Honeycrisp.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. It's beautiful. There's one over here too. Oh, this is where. That's where we went. Oh yeah, look down there is where Pacifican Farm is. And this is close.
Right.
There's horses.
Hi, horses that we rode.
A bunch of ducks out there.
Got 'em.